All right, alert ought to be coming through.
Let's see what I can get up over here.
All right, we on our page. We on.
Oh, we on the air.
All right. Shalom, shalom. We want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Bahashai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the I can teach about the Mawah Mat. That's sincerity and truth. It's the brother Yazaka, got the brother Atazawan with me, and we back with another lesson, man. The Lord allowed us another opportunity to get together to continue the series in the book of Acts. We are now in chapter 24 through the Spirit, and this chapter is not really long, but that really doesn't matter when the Spirit of the Lord is involved. So, Lord willing, He has blessed this lesson and it's edifying to the hopeful elect, and then everybody else. Hey, it is what it is, man. You know, you've been warned. All right. So, you got anything before we get started, brother?
No, not really. But well, as you can see, throughout the chapters, we finna end it off. What we got? 3 more left. About three, 4 chapters left.
Yeah.
And within this chapter, you will see on how Paul was brought up to the gates of the nobles, as the scriptures say. In fact, let me grab that real quick. What we at? Gates of the nobles. What is that? Isaiah 13? If I'm not mistaken. Yep, here we go.
All right.
Yep, this is Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's going on right now in this chapter. Paul is being brought up into the gates of the nobles because of bringing out the word. You know what I'm saying? This is showing him being persecuted, showing him being lied on and false witnesses and things of that nature, which, like we keep on saying, we're going to be faced with those similar situations here in the new century.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to see what it do through the Spirit. And we, you got it. If you want me to start it on up.
Yeah, I was saying another thing, man. When you read these stories, when you read these accounts, you have to understand that these things are gonna happen to us too. It's also another indicator of the prophecies. You see, everybody want to skip straight to the end, but the trouble got to rise up. The word got to be preached. It got to reach all the way to the gates of the nobles. You see,
right?
Israel, the way it's happening, in this book is the way it's happening now. You see, and you got to be able to identify when these things are happening, so you'll know. The Lord is giving us these indicators through prophecy to know what to look for, and the more prophecies come to pass, the closer we getting. You see, you got it.
Real quick,
share my screen too.
God, real quick. Now this is you want to pull up John 15 and 18?
Yeah.
Let's get down. Let's get down. John 15 and 18. See if I can pull it up over here, man. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Give me 1 second.
All right, I'm gonna get Acts 2. Acts 24.
All right, now this is John 15 and 18, and as you can see the top of it, it says disciples relation to the world. John 15 and 18. Now this is Yahushua speaking. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
All right, stop right there. Let's look up these worlds.
Okay.
All right, let's look up these worlds. You got cosmos, right?
back to
All right, cosmos. All right, cosmos. Cosmos. All right. Each one of those, cosmos, right?
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and get the word. Let's go ahead and get the word. It's talking about Israel the whole time.
Yep. Because that's who was bringing Jake to the gates of the nobles. You know, Jake was running to the authorities at that time, those that was so-called over Jerusalem, over Israel.
All right, you see? An apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government, masharah. That's the Hebrew word for government, right? The constitution, the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yep.
You see? It was only given to one people, right? Ornament, decoration, adornment, the arrangement of the stars, the heavenly hosts, right? The heavenly hosts, the angels. Who are the angels for? Israel.
Yep.
You see? As the ornament in the heavens, right? The world, the universe, right? The word now, oikomene is the Greek word for the world, the universe, and everybody that's in it, the inhabitants of the earth. That's oikomene.
Right.
You see? And then you have the word eon, which is also an age, right? Roughly around 2,500 years.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
At the end of Esau's world, the end of Esau's age is going to end with thermonuclear destruction. And the end of Esau is going to be the beginning of Jacob, speaking regarding rulership. What's that? What's that? Second Esdras. Let me get that real quick.
6. Yep.
Yeah, Second Esdras chapter 6. Pull that real quick.
Yep.
And we've been doing our reading assignments. Let me put the camera on me where y'all can see me. We've been doing our class of the reading assignment for the week. We've been getting more into it, brushing up. You know, brothers have been randomly reading on their own, but recently, over the past month or so, we started doing a reading assignment for the week again, man. And just a suggestion, man. I know we get used to these phones and these laptops and all that type of stuff, man. But open your book, man. Get them pages. All them highlights that you got, bro. These highlights go back from years, man. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. When you open your book and you feel your fingers on them pages and you start to highlight the stuff that you've already gotten into, and you read those things over and you start to highlight more, it's building up your arsenal, man. You know? Let your fingers feel the pages, man. You know, even if it's only for 10 minutes a day, these pages get addictive. You know what I'm saying? So the more it says, blessed is he that readeth. You know, so let your fingers touch the pages sometimes, because once these phones gone, we still gonna have this right here, and we still gonna have whatever we got. So you know what I'm saying? Don't neglect them pages, bro.
Yep.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
That's right. Yep. So going back into John 15, right? Now that world which the elder just brought it out is speaking of cosmos, meaning a people. What people? The Israelites. Okay. So verse 19, and this is the warning that Yahushua was given to the disciples before they went on their apostleship. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. All right. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. Okay. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. And this
can you go get a Revelation 3:10 real quick?
Yep.
Yeah, because the Lord was telling the disciples about the people keeping the sayings. You know what I'm saying? You keep the word. If you keep the words that I'm giving you, the people gonna keep the words that you give to them. Right. And we're gonna all be okay, because this is the will of the Heavenly Father for us to follow this particular set of instructions. Go ahead.
Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Kept, right? You kept the word of my patience. Look up that word patience real quick. Okay. You kept the word of my patience. You know what I'm saying? Kept. When you look at that word kept, it goes into holding fast to something. You know what I'm saying? To keeping it, to understanding it, to receiving it, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the word kept. Speaker thing is in. All right, this is the word kept, which is hupone, and steadfastness, constancy, endurance. In the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who has not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings.
You see that? And that's what I'm saying. And we coming up on our greatest trials and sufferings, man. You know what I'm saying? In order to be glorified with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the way the scriptures say that we would be. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Yahushai prayed to the Heavenly Father to go back to that original glory, we doing the same thing, man. Right. You see? We believe that we those spirits doing the same thing. Right. Was it more to that definition?
I
think that was it.
Yeah, it's basically saying the same thing. Patient, steadfast, waiting for, sustaining.
That's what I'm saying. And that's in Revelation 3 and 10, man. Letting you know that everybody, look up that word all. Look up that word all in that verse. Look up the word all in that verse. Because everybody want to say it's an embargo or it's this or it's that. No. Each individual person on this planet is going to have to deal with this, including babies coming out the womb, man. Right. They want to chip your baby as soon as they come out the womb. You see? Go ahead.
Right. That's it on the definition.
Okay. All right.
Get back to the scripture. It says, Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right, which is what? Steadfastness, endurance. All right. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Did you look up the word all?
All isn't up in this verse.
Oh no, I'm thinking about all in Revelation 13. Yeah, if you look at the word all, it goes into each individual.
Yep.
All right, we can go back to.
I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. Oh.
There we go. I
just said it. So like, hold on. Okay, it'll say all, whole, completely. It may be
everybody
word
in an oikomany sense of the word.
Yep, whole, all, complete, all together, throughout, whole. Yeah, that's basically the.
All right, now, just to make it look like we, not just to show that we ain't crazy, go to Revelation 13.
Yeah, correct.
16. He calls it all, both small and great.
Because that is the hour of temptation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly. Con.
Yeah, that's why my wires got crossed. So like,
yep, con. I knew what you meant. Let's see. Cause of all. Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls of all. And then this is a different word. Now that word in Revelation 3 and 10 was halos. Okay. Now this word is pas or pas.
Yeah.
So this is just two different words. Here we go. Individually. Each, every, any, all, everyone.
See, now that make more sense when you talk about small and great, that's rich and poor, free and bond. You see, small in stature, great in stature, free, rich, poor, whatever you are, you gonna have to deal with the hour of temptation.
Everyone,
whatever category you fall under, you gonna have to deal with that.
Yep.
All right, we can move on now. You can go back to what was you, John still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to John. Let's see. So the prayer, what Yahushua was telling them, he was telling them that, hey, when I leave, these are the things that's going to befall you. You're going to have to go through these things. I'm going to read it again. John 15 and 20. Remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake.
Stop right there. I got something real quick for you. John 17 and 20. All right, let's get that real quick.
In John 17 is when Yahushua was making that prayer. Okay, this was the prayer that Yahushua was making to the Father, Yahweh, for the elect's sake. Okay,
real quick. This is John 17:20. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. It said, "Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also." Which, matter of fact, let me go and get the juice. All right. Let's go to
sanctify them through their word.
Yeah, word. John 17:16. It says, "They are not of this world, even as I am not of the world." Right, meaning cosmos again. Right. There we go. Another cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It says, neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. You see? So the Lord said, look, he said, I'm going to sanctify you through the truth, right? Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so I also have sent them into the world. And for their sake, you got something?
No, I just said apostles. Yep.
Okay. And for their sakes, I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. You see? So those men that keep those sayings, the people that they teach are going to keep those sayings. And the will of the Heavenly Father is going to be fulfilled through the elect.
That's right.
Right? All right, go ahead.
It says, well, these are things. Okay, verse 21. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Let me see. I want to check something out real quick. I believe it's in Acts. Because it said their word, and people were scoffing not too long ago when our apostle Gabar says this thing of ours, right? Now check this out, because this thing is of ours. The Lord gave it unto his men, so this is of ours, right? This is Acts 2:41. Then they gladly received his word. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls, and they continue steadfastly. All right, they go that keep steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, in fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. Yep. So that's the word.
That's it.
All right. Now we can go back into Acts 24. Oh, we didn't even start Acts 24. All right, that was the intro.
Yeah. I would say I'm finna read this commentary real quick.
Okay, Con.
Yeah. All right, this is all right. It says imprisoned in Caesarea for 2 years. Right, that's how long Paul was out there. Right. It says in the trial before Felix, the Jews used a professional lawyer to present their case. They made 3 accusations against Paul. Firstly, he created uprisings among Jews, the suggestion being that he was stirring up rebellion against Rome. Secondly, he was a leader of the Nazarenes, a religious group that operated without government permission and therefore was probably rebellious against Rome. Right? You see how they try the gates of the nobles, just like the brother was going into. Right? It's gonna come to the point where you're gonna be taken to the gates of the nobles for what you believe. Just like the brother Ariella like to say, for your belief on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and teaching his word, you will be under the threat of imminent death. Yep. Right? It says thirdly, he had defiled the temple in Jerusalem. Paul began his defense by denying that he had stirred up the people in Jerusalem. No one could prove such a claim. Secondly, he admitted that he was a follower of the way, but this was the true continuation and completion of the ancient Israelite religion. It was not a new sect, neither was it false. Paul believed in the resurrection of the dead, and as did most Jews, and he worshiped the same God as they did. Finally, he had not defiled the temple. In fact, he had carried out a ceremony of purification. Remember when they made him prove himself, make this sacrifice on the altar. It says, in addition, he had brought gifts to help his fellow Jews in their need. The Sanhedrin's only accusation against him concerned his belief in the resurrection, and even that was supported supported by only one section of it. Says Felix knew the Jews well and plainly saw that Paul was not guilty, but out of fear of the Jews, he would not release him. So Paul spent the next 2 years in prison. Well, he was allowed. He spent 2 years in prison, and he was allowed to have visits and friends come through. That's why we were able to get all those letters. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he was innocent, Felix was afraid of the reaction that was going to come from the Jews if he didn't just keep him locked up. So even though he locked him up, he made it as comfortable as he could because he knew he hadn't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like the scripture say, even your enemies will be at peace with you if you do what you're supposed to do. You know, it says Felix wanted to find out more about Paul's Christian beliefs, right? He wanted to find out more about the truth, but he became uncomfortable when Paul spoke of the need for right behavior and the certainty of the upcoming judgment. So he was like, "Well, tell me more about this truth. This is interesting."
Yeah.
And then when when the rebuke started coming, he was like, "Oh hell no, nah.
Yep,
I'm good."
Yep.
It says Paul could have been released had he been willing to pay the bribe Felix was seeking, but he refused. Felix therefore left him in prison till the arrival of the next governor, who could handle the case however he wished. Right. So this is pretty much what we're about to get into in this chapter. You know, that's a commentary, a breakdown on what was going on during that time, because a lot of times Paul spent a lot of time in prison due to the ministry. You know what I'm saying? But even though Paul didn't never trip, he stayed the course and he just dealt. You see, and along all those times that he was in prison, this example being one of them, the Lord was still dealing with it. You see, he was still able to deal with his disciples. You know what I'm saying? He was still able to write letters back and forth to churches, and he was still very involved, even though, you know what I'm saying? And really on the cool, the Lord was protecting Paul by putting him in prison some of those times because people wanted to kill him.
Yep.
You see, so it was a lot of moving parts, and it made it seem uncomfortable for us on the outside looking in. But Paul was filled with the Spirit, so he was just doing what he needed to do to please the Heavenly Father.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and that's what we're doing. It's possible that we could be in this same situation. Like Peter got broken out of prison, Paul got broken out of prison. Even when they were in prison, that's what I'm saying. Even when Paul was in prison, he was comfortable to a certain extent. You know. Go ahead.
Yep, that's right. All right, let's get it going. We're gonna jump into it now. Acts the 24th chapter. All right. It's Acts 24:1. And after 5 days, Ananias the high priest descended with the elders and with a certain orator named Tertullus, who informed the governor against Paul. And when he had called forth Tertullus, began to accuse him, saying, "Seeing that by thee we enjoy great quietness, and that very worthy deeds are done unto this nation by thy providence, we accept it always and in all places, most noble Felix, with all thankfulness," kissing his ass.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. All right. So, because he said, the nigga said, "Seeing that by thee we enjoy great quietness, and that very worthy deeds are done unto this nation by thy providence," meaning you setting us up the right way. You're setting us up properly. We're thankful for you, Felix. You know,
you are our master.
Yeah, right. You are our master, Felix.
Without you, we can't do nothing.
Right.
The same praise that you're supposed to give the Lord, they're giving it to them.
Yep. And I always make mention of this. That's why when we go back to Yahushua, John 11 chapter, we ain't got to get it. But in the ending of the verses, it tells you on how they said that they feared that Yahushua was going to take away their place in nation because he was doing many miracles. Well, this is the same thing that was going on with Paul and the disciples, with Paul and the apostles. They were doing many miracles, and people was believing in the word. So they had to do something to get them locked up or killed. All right, this is where we're at. Notwithstanding, verse 4. Notwithstanding that I be not further tedious unto thee, I pray thee that thou wouldest hear us of thy clemency a few words. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow.
He get on our nerves.
Yep.
He messes everything up. The same thing they were saying about the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes.
That's what I'm saying. So they pretty much just bringing up lies.
False charge. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Lying to get them to squash the truth from being preached.
Mm-hmm.
So keep everything that we read. Keep in mind that this is a possibility that it can happen to you personally.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen to the men of the Lord, but it can happen to you personally.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can actually be in a situation where you in front of the gates, you at the gates of the nobles, and they give you life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just gotta have it. You just gotta understand that the Lord is gonna work a miracle one way or another. No, so the Lord didn't put you in this truth for you to be in prison for the rest of your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if He did, then so be it.
Mm-hmm. But this go around, we're gonna live. We ain't gonna go.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Understand the times that you're in.
Right.
These times are gonna be short.
That's
you
right.
see, the Lord gonna speed up the time.
That's right.
Well, He already done speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
Yep. And now take mention. Now remember what we've been saying. Put yourself in this scene too. Put yourself in the Roman Empire and what was happening at that time. Now you notice on how he brought up the sect of the Nazarenes, because remember you had a lot of groups out there as of today who was bucking up and rebelling against the Roman Empire. Here it is, the apostles and the men of the Lord. They were just preaching the gospel, but you had different factions out there rising up. So he's trying to appease them, telling him, you know, he's a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes, which is false. But by saying those things, you know, he can get pinpointed, which they already mistake Paul for as the Ethiopian. Right? Was it the
Egyptian?
Egyptian. There we go, the Egyptian. Because you had a lot of different groups rising up against the government. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. Which we have those groups. We have the not fucking around camps, groups and stuff. We have the pull-up boys and stuff who claim that they're Israelites, but they out there bearing arms and stuff all over the media, showing that they shooting at the range. So they're gonna try to link what it is. They're gonna try to link the men of the Lord, the prophets, with the folly and the nigger shit that's going on right now. You know, they're gonna group everybody up. You know, so let's keep it going. Verse 6. Who also have gone about to profane the temple, whom we took and would have judged according to our law, meaning they would have killed him. But the chief captain Elisus came upon us, and with violence took him away out of our hands. Which, when you go back into the further chapter, it explains that when he sent the whole army out there to grab up Paul. Verse 8, commanding his accusers to come unto thee, by examining of whom thyself mayest take knowledge of all these things whereof we accuse him. And the Jews also assented, saying that these things were so. Verse 10.
Same thing they did on the Lord, man, just lying, man. Coming up with stuff, coming up with lies, having the people to co-sign on the lies. You see? Yep. And it's the same thing that's going to happen today, man. The same thing is going to happen today, man. Everybody that's in that lot is going to have to pay for that, man.
Yes, sir.
You see? Because it's going to come a point to where you're going to have to prove it. Yep. Just saying it ain't going to be enough. You're going to have to prove it. And that's where we are in this chapter. They got to, you know what I'm saying? They got to prove that Paul is guilty of all these things they're accusing him of. And they wasn't able to do it. Go ahead.
Verse 10, then Paul, after that, the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do the more cheerfully answer for myself, because that thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship. And they neither found me in the temple, disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues, nor in the city.
You know what I'm saying? Paul was like, bro, no, I didn't, bro. I ain't do none of this stuff they talking about. He just, I ain't do this, I didn't do that, and I ain't do that either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And could nobody, everything that they was accusing him of, could nobody prove none of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he told me it's been 12 days since I've been there.
And that's what Paul was found blameless.
Yep.
In that situation.
Yep.
You see?
Yep.
Because he was following the instructions of the Lord, man. If you follow the instructions of the Lord, you're gonna be found blameless. Because obedience is better than sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You see? He had his Isaiah walking around naked. He told Ezekiel to eat human dung.
Yep.
Ended up eating animal dung, but that's what I'm saying. No matter how extreme it is, if you do however extreme it is, the Lord gonna. That's what I'm saying. Obedience is better.
Obedience is better.
You got it.
It says, verse 13. Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call hearsay, so worship I the power of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets.
That's what I'm saying. Paul said he believes everything that was written in the law and in the prophets.
Prophecy.
So for everybody out there to think Paul is going off, you got to explain that.
Yep.
You got to explain that.
Yep.
Paul believed in the scriptures.
Yep.
He taught the scriptures. He wasn't just making stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
You see? He was into the volume of the book just like we should be.
Yep.
Just like we are.
Just like we are. Yep.
Go ahead.
And have hope toward the Most High, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust.
Yeah, it's gonna be a resurrection, all right. It's gonna be a resurrection, all right. It's gonna be a resurrection for everybody. Well, we all gonna have to come back and do this thing.
Yep.
You see? Let me get that word resurrection real quick.
God, gonna be a judgment coming. Let me look into.
Come on, man. I guess it ain't gonna give it to me just yet. Okay, there we go. Call on Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right. Resurrection. All right.
Strong's G 386. Anastasis.
All right. Rising up from a seed, arising from the dead, that of Mashiach, that of all men at the end of this present age, right? The resurrection of certain ones, history who were restored to life. You know what I'm saying? The whole nation is going to be eventually resurrected. You know what I'm saying? In righteousness.
Yep.
You know?
They've risen up.
But the whole I would say the re-back and surrection, right? I would say surrection is to rise up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Erection is to stand up.
Erection, right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Erection is to stand up. Resurrection, you know what I'm saying? That will say you back standing up. You back in the flesh. You back alive.
Resurrect.
You see? Resurrection. Now I will say resurrection. I will say the examples that we have in the scriptures of resurrection is Lazarus, the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit is put back into the same body. You know what I'm saying? Paul was resurrected when he got stoned. You know what I'm saying?
The girl who Yahushua healed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Resurrected, died, spirit left your body, and then I would say the people when the Lord said it is finished. Those people that rose up out of the ground and went on to live normal lives, their spirit was put back in that exact body. Now reincarnation, you get a new body. And that body is formed through your parents and sex and being in the womb and so on and so forth, like you can read about in the Apocrypha in second what's that, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So you're gonna have to deal with those words. Go ahead, bro.
All right, it says, flip the page. Verse 16. And herein do I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense toward the Most High and toward men. Now, after many years, I came to bring alms to my nation and offerings, whereupon certain Jews from Asia found me purified in the temple, neither with multitude nor with tumult, who ought to have been here before thee, and object if they had aught against me. Or else let these same here say if they have found any evil doing in me while I stood before the council. Except it be for this one voice that I cry standing among them, touching the resurrection of the dead, I am called and questioned by you this day.
And say, did not Paul say, well, get that am I not your enemy? Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Yep.
Okay, Galatians 4.
Galatians 4 and 6. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That's what's happening right here. He telling them the truth. When it comes to resurrection, this is what it is according to the scriptures.
Yep.
Right? Same thing we be doing. According to the scriptures, this is what it is. And now here I am on trial fighting for my life.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And when Felix heard these things, having more perfect knowledge of that way, he deferred them and said, when Lysias, the chief captain, shall come down, I will know the uttermost of your matter. And he commanded a centurion to keep Paul and to let him have liberty, and that he should forbid none of his acquaintances to minister or come unto him.
You see, so that's what I'm saying. Since he knew Paul hadn't been guilty of none of those things that he was accused of, right? So when Lysias come, he said, okay, well, I done heard him. I done heard Paul. I done heard the Jews. You know what I'm saying? Lysias on his way. We're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I have all the information I need. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, Paul, I'm going to make sure you got this guard. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to mess with you. Anybody you want to come in here to visit, just let us know. We're going to make that happen for you. Yep. The Lord did that because Paul was still being obedient the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Did not the Lord say he'll put his words in your mouth? So
right.
Everything that Paul said to Felix, guess what? Those was the Lord's words, man.
Yep.
You got it.
And after certain days, when Felix came with his wife Drusilla, which was a Jewess, he sent for Paul and heard him concerning the faith of Hamashiach. And as he reasoned of righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, Felix trembled and answered, go thy way, for this time, when I have a convenient season, I will call for thee.
Yeah, I was like, you say he didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I would say his wife was a Jew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His wife was a Jew, so he was using her to get more information on what Paul believed in.
Right.
You see? And the more information he got, but basically he heard enough to be like, oh, whoa, that's enough.
This is above my pay grade.
I don't need to hear all that.
Yep.
You know, if that's what you're talking about, count me out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, go ahead.
He hoped also that money should have been given him of Paul, that he might loose him. Wherefore he sent for him the oftener and communed with him. But
that's what I'm saying, bro. Let's look up that word oftener. I ain't never seen that before. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. He was like, shit. He was like, Paul, if you pay me some bread, you can get out. You can bond out.
right. A bond.
You know what I'm saying? But like, Paul could have easily made that request to the congregation and they would have got him out. You know what I'm saying? But he understood through the Spirit that wasn't what it was called for. Mm-hmm. All right.
Strong's G 4437. Puknas.
An oftener. Often, more frequently, the oftener. Vigorously, diligent, frequently, often, recurring. In reference to time. Okay. Wherefore he said, often to commune with. Okay, cool. Let's say so. He hoped also that the money should have been given him of Paul, that he might loose him. Wherefore he sent for him the offerer to commune with him. Okay, so he was the offerer kept coming to Paul.
Yep.
Trying to see if he was gonna pay.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was in there for like 2 years, so he was sending you ready to pay up? You ready to pay up? You ready to pay up? The offer still stands. If you pay me, you can get up out of here. And Paul kept telling him no.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
But after 2 years, Porcius Festus came into Felix's room, and Felix, willing to shew the Jews a pleasure, left Paul bond.
Right, I was saying. So, like he left it up to the next dude coming in. I'm gonna leave you locked. I tried to take you. Could have just paid me and been gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But since you don't want to pay me, I know you didn't do nothing, but I still need that bread.
Yep.
If you're not gonna give me that bread, I'm just gonna wash my hands of it. Whoever come in relieve me, he can deal with you.
Right.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And then that's pretty much the end of the chapter. You know what I'm saying? And you got any other precepts?
No. That's pretty much it.
So Lord willing, we'll be able to pick up later on this week. You know what I'm saying? To jump into the rest of it, because it's gonna be a continuation.
Yep.
It's going into the next chapter, going into chapter 25. You know what I'm saying? And let me see. Let's pull these couple of precepts off the comment board. All right, we got next Shalom, the water for the precept, brother. All right, Revelation 2:10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful." You see,
right.
And this is exactly what happened to Paul. This is exactly what happened to Paul. Right. He was thrown into prison for the allotted time. That 10 days ended up being 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But the 10 days is a measurement. Mm-hmm. You see, it's not an actual 10 days, not a literal 10 days. You see? All right. What else, brother? Put another precept up there. All right. Matthew 5:10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for the righteousness, for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Period. Right. Period. You see? So for the Lord to be talking about persecution, as much as he talked about persecution, you got to know it's coming and you got to be ready. You see? Well, I would say we are very well prepared through the Spirit for what's to come, man.
And getting more prepared through the Spirit.
Yep. And even when our flesh get weak, that's when the Lord gonna step in.
That's right.
Right. You remember when Peter started slipping, when he started falling in the water? He was walking on water. And as soon as he started to slip, it said the Lord immediately snatched him up.
Immediately.
He know we in this flesh. He's been there.
I was hey, well, Yahweh Shai. When he was holding the cross, who came and helped him?
He's
Simeon.
been there. Yeah, he's been there. So he going. Yep.
It's like I was gonna say when Yahweh Shai was carrying that cross, when he was at that last ending of it, he had got help by Simeon. And that word Simeon, that name Simeon means affliction heard. So it's gonna feel like let me get this. It's gonna feel like, all hope is lost, so to speak, but hey, Yahweh Shai is gonna come. Let me see. 1 Corinthians. This is my favorite scripture. 1 Corinthians 10:13. There has no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. So all men is going to go through a temptation, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it.
Oh, get Psalms 34:7.
Yes, sir. So he knows.
And the beauty of it is all these precepts that are coming out, they happening.
Yeah.
They happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Go ahead and read Psalms real quick. But that's what I'm saying. All these things happened with Paul in this situation.
Yep.
He studied to show himself to prove. He was blessed for reading. He followed the law. He did all these different things. He was obedient to the Heavenly Father. He was knocked off his horse. He was humbled. You know what I'm saying? Went through all those trials and tribulations, all that stuff.
And the Lord was still with him.
And the Lord was with him.
This is Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
That's what happened, man. That's what happened. And then at the end of the day, after you finish your course, the Lord called you to sit on his right-hand side, and then you're going to be remembered for your works and be the first raised up if you ought to so-called die in this truth.
Yep.
You see, so you can't lose.
Yep.
You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Okay, come on. My clip is empty too. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, with that, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind, Wa'amath. That's in sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom.